Hansen only with one steal this year off of first. This one smoked up the middle. Jimenez, a diving stop, flips to second for one. Desiro's turn, what a play! 6, 4, 3, Antonio Jimenez, are you kidding me? With a 3-1 count. Everybody gets off. Dunas delivers. Outside, ball 4, ball game. Comeback complete. A walk-off walk for Eli Putnam. 10-9, the Gatemen knock off the Kettleers and they snap a 5-game losing streak. He belts this one high and deep to left field. Look at this one fly. Compton's back and that ball is gone. Billy Parker, welcome to Spillane. It's a 2-run ball game. Billy blasting off. Rain, stay away. The Wareham Gatemen have playoff baseball to play from Lowell Park here in Cotuit. Ethan Ibe alongside Kyle Marshak on the Gatemen Baseball Network pregame show here on Cape League TV. For the first time in 5 years, the Wareham Gatemen have qualified for the postseason, and it's a 1-game playoff between the Kets and the Gatemen here. Kyle, how are we feeling heading into this matchup?
Well, it's a big one, right? This is the matchup that they wanted, though. When it came down to the final regular season game against Falmouth 2 days ago, they wanted that win so that they could grab the 3 seed and face Cotuit as opposed to Hyannis in the first round. They haven't fared well against Hyannis, and they are down in the season series against Cotuit 2-3, but they are coming off most recently a walk-off victory against the Cats, so I feel pretty good. Yeah, it's been close games all year long between these two. We knew we might be watching a potential playoff matchup whenever these two teams squared off. Both teams finishing with identical records, 22-17-1, good for a tie for that second place spot, but Cotuit getting the edge with the season series. Ryan Smythe has had plenty of experience coaching against this Cotuit squad, and he now is joined with Madison Walker. Top of the second inning from McKeon Park in Hyannis. The score 3-0 Harbor Hawks here as the Gatemen return to the plate. They will send Reese Chapman, Eli Putnam, and Antonio Jimenez to the dish here. A hectic first inning for Darren Horn. Hawks all over the place on just 3 hits in that frame. Couple of singles, a double as well. And stolen bases galore, just everything going right for Hyannis in that inning.
That was a Hyannis Harbor Hawks inning, that's for sure. They get on base, they steal, they cause commotion, and most of all, they just put that darn ball in play.
Well, let's see how the Gatemen react to this with some newfound momentum that they gained yesterday with that 10-9 win at home of the comeback variety and the walk-off variety against Cotuit. It's a walk-off walk from Eli Putnam with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 9th inning. We learned something very interesting about the Gatemen offense in that game. They were all fueled by one singular food, drink, whatever you want to call it. We call it a sauce around here, and it's mob sauce.
Yep, it's been such an interesting part of their culture is, you know, their unity with the hitting coach Mike Mobbs, and this sauce that he has for lunch every day has become a focal point of it.
A green slop that he calls it. As Reese Chapman stands in, we'll talk more about that in a second. Back on the mound, Aaron Bajulam. First pitch, Chapman rolls over one, first base line and foul. So Mobbs brings that so-called green slop with him for lunch every single day at the ballpark, and he'll have it. And if a hitter's struggling, he'll pick him out and give him a shot of it, as he says. And then that guy gets a hit. And it's worked every time, so he claims. It is on quite the hitting streak. But then things got so bad with that 5-game losing streak as the pitch roller to first. This one stays fair. Picked up there by Cabell. He takes to the bag himself, one away. Things got so bad that Mike Mobbs decided to pull out the mob sauce for the entire position player group for the Gatemen. So everyone got a taste of it yesterday, and look what happened. I mean, the results are set in stone.
Even after the first 3 innings where no one had reached base.
Yeah, at that point, the group was brought aside by Mike Mobbs, and he gave them an ultimatum. As Eli Putnam explained it to us in the postgame, as Putnam himself stands in now, shows bunt, pulls it back because there's ball 1. After that 3rd inning, when the Gatemen were down 8-0 to Cotuit, the group looked dejected, said Mike Mobbs, and he pulled his entire group aside and he gave them a choice. Get it together or go home. The 1-0 is in the dirt. Choice, you can either fight back or you can lay the bats down now and call it a day. because the groups, he said the body language was not what he'd like to see. That's his words. And he knew he couldn't stand by it, so he decided to do something about it. And luckily, his guys responded positively as Putnam drives one out towards center field, and that'll fall right in front of Eddie Pelk. A base hit here with one away. Second Gateman hit of the evening. Putnam aboard here with one away in the second.
It's a good piece of hitting right there. That's what Putnam's been doing a ton lately. Just putting that ball back up the middle.
And that brings up Antonio Jimenez. So that really speaks to just how together this group is. It is just a summer squad. It is a developmental league at heart, but these Gatemen are together. And they're willing to fight for one another, and we saw that a whole lot yesterday. As Putnam takes off of first base, first pitch to Jimenez, swung on and missed, strike one.
I mean, that's summer baseball for you, especially at, the top tiers of the leagues, the Cape being the best of which. You're going to get a bunch of kids from different schools, different mentalities, working for different things, and some want to win, some don't.
Pitch is in the dirt. It scoots away from the catcher, Peebles, and scampering up to second, Putnam. Peebles lost his glove trying to backhand that ball. Ball squirted right behind him. His glove fell out in front of the plate. So Putnam will take the extra 90 feet. He's now in scoring position with one out.
He went for a back pick, and the mitt just popped off his hand. I haven't seen that one before.
Hawks scored 3 times in the first. They lead it 3-0 here. We're in the away half of the second. As Putnam takes off of second base, Eddie Saldivar, a second baseman in the area to keep him close. Right-hander Aaron Bajulam deals, and it's fouled back to the padding behind home plate. 1-2. So that's the mentality and the culture that Ryan Smythe in his second season, along with Mike Mobbs and the other 4 coaches, have decided to bring to Wareham, and every single guy that has worn the red and blue this summer has bought in. Put him several steps off of second base. The 1-2. Breaking ball just elevated. Difficult take for Jimenez. It's 2-2.
Yeah, he was in there the whole way and last second said no. That was a curveball starting up, breaking toward the zone, and that's kind of a 50-50 call as well.
Jimenez with the best eye on the team. He's walked the most with 19 this summer. Putnam taking off for third. The pitch outside. Throw down. The tag. And I believe he is safe. Stolen base for Eli Putnam. His 9th of the season. Takes the extra 90. And now a base hit here could drive him in. It's 3-2 to Jimenez.
Man, Matthew Newman took his time making that call.
So Putnam now at third as Jimenez digs back into the right-handed box. Bajulam with a sign from Peebles, the payoff. A roller towards short, picked up by White, throw to first in time, but Putnam scores. The Gatemen get a run back. It's 3-1 Hyannis here in the second.
Oh, that's just a great at-bat by Jimenez there. 2-strike count, run around third, adjusts and just says, all right, I'm going to put this ball in play. Stayed back in a curveball and just poked that thing towards short, got the job done, brought in a run.
The get him over, get him in mentality working to perfection that time for the Gatemen. As here's Nate Early out of Louisville. First pitch misses down and in, ball 1. Base is clear. 2 away in the away half of the second. Beautiful evening for baseball from Hyannis. The pitch swung on and missed. 1-1 to Early. DH batting 8th. Just 1 for his last 15, but he hasn't played a whole lot in the last couple of ball games. We've seen a couple of pinch hit appearances for him. The 1-1. Another chase. 1-2.
Yeah, out and early on the curveball. Tried to use his legs to kill some time, but was still well out in front of it, so he was sitting fastball there.
Early batting from the left side against the righty on the mound. Bajulam has his signs set at the belt. He kicks and fires, and it's high. 2-2.
A lot of off speeds this AB. That one hung way upstairs.
Wind blowing strongly out to right field. That could benefit Early. The American flag on a pole just to the left of that scoreboard in right center. 2-2. High fly ball. This one to deep right field. Bat flip in, bombs away for Nate Early. His second home run of this season. I don't think the wind needed to help that one.
That one was way out of here. Got the curveball that time, and hey, way to call that shot.
Oh, baby, Nate Early. They call him No Stride Nate. Early morning. He just said good night to that baseball. It's 3-2.
Center fielder from Army, number 5, Billy.
He heads back to the dugout. The high fives all the way around. The guy who badly needed that. And with 2 away, it's up to Billy Parker. 410 feet. 98 off the bat for Mr. Nate Early.
Yeah, that was crushed.
So here's Billy Parker, who tries to lay down the surprise bunt. It rolls foul up the third base line. When you get production from the bottom of the order, that does signal good things. We've seen it time and time again, especially in that first half when the Gatemen were oh so dominant at the height of their powers. The entire lineup producing night after night. We saw that yesterday with Billy Parker, who homered in his first Cape League start. His second game, tonight his third. The pitch, swing and a miss out in front of the breaking ball. It's 0-2. The Army product got the start in center field. He made a great diving catch. He drove in a couple of runs, and he helped create that comeback.
Yeah, what a big addition. This roster down the home stretch just needing another bat.
0-2 to Parker. He chased. Strike 3 swinging. He's out number 3, but Nate Early adding on his second home run of the season. Also an RBI ground out for Antonio Jimenez to score. Putnam, Gatemen respond well to get a couple back. Hyannis still with a 3-2 lead heading to the last of the second on the Gatemen Baseball Network powered by Cape League TV. To the bottom of the second, a scoreless ball game from Spillane Field here in Wareham. Gatemen looking to get back to their winning ways after dropping one to Falmouth on the road a couple of days ago. Looking to finish out this regular season strong as they check in second in the Cape League West Division standings. Reese Chapman scheduled to hit first. Antonio Jimenez, Sam White will follow against Vanderbilt's Cody Valker. Look at this shift they've got going on Reese Chapman here. First pitch is outside for ball 1. We've noticed that Orleans, and maybe this is Kelly Nicholson's philosophy, they certainly do like to shift more than the usual team.
I forgot the shift existed.
At the knees, a called strike. The shift rules that apply to Major League Baseball nowadays do not apply to the NCAA or the Cape Cod League. The rules being 2 infielders on either side of second base. That is not the alignment that Orleans is rolling with here. A tapper up the middle, right into the shift. Lorenzo Miola gathers and throws to first for the out. Maybe they're onto something, Kyle.
Yeah, you know, Chapman does have pop. He does hit the ball hard, but he also pulls it. So, smart move by them.
And now look at this shift. Miola moves deep in the hole at shortstop for Antonio Jimenez, with the second baseman Mike Mancini playing way over from the second base bag. So a massive hole on the right side in case Jimenez decides to go the other way. And a called strike on the breaking ball from Bowker.
Yeah, and they're going to pitch inside to him too. So, I mean, this is all smart stuff.
Shows bunt, drops it down, third base side. Shoop charging in, there will be no play. A bunt single for Antonio Jimenez. He caught Shoop playing back. He makes him pay by dropping it down.
I love it. Tied for a team lead in homers, and he said, take that. Especially after a bunt single the previous inning for the Firebirds, so go for it.
Mike Mancini dropping one down just a half inning ago, and now Antonio Jimenez, so maybe small ball will rule the day today. And as Sam White digs in, and the opposite shift follows him. Back with 2 infielders, or 3 infielders rather, on the right side.
And you just go through your playlist.
And the first pitch hits him. I think it got his elbow guard, and so Sam White will head down to first base. So talk about pitching inside. That time around didn't pay off.
Yeah, trying to Do that against a lefty is going to be tough after facing a righty who just dropped a bunt down on a pitch inside to him. So you're just trying to change aims here on the plate. Plus, Sam White, not a guy who's going to back off from a ball, considering he is a catcher by trade.
So first and second for Eli Putnam. So all 4 batters in this inning have been shifted to pull. At the knees for a called strike. Putnam recently snapping an 0 for 11 skid. He's got hits in each of the last 2 games.
So you want to use that one? Yes, you want to use
First
that one.
baseman Adam Davidson.
Oh, like one after the other.
No, you can put this one up and then play that.
Oh, they'll play back to back.
Out in front of that one, 0-2. Great chance here for the Gatemen, 2 on, 1 away. Looking to crack the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
Man, he left that one up, but he's lucky he changed speed so much, or else that one would be hitting my car out there and left.
And you did park out there today.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
That's a risky move. The 0-2. Tapper, shortstop side, charging in Miola. Gathers and throws on the run in time. Out number 2, both runners advance. It works like a sacrifice. Jimenez to third and White up to second.
All right, you've got 2 guys in scoring position. This is the situation that we need to see production in right now.
Mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, the lack of knocks with runners in scoring position in this second half. The 6 losses that the Gatemen have seen here in the second half, 8 for 62 with runners in scoring position. That's a 129 mark. So like Kyle said, let's see if Colby Turner can change that narrative. 2 on, 2 away. Bowker comes home. Lofted foul down the right side.
Keep that foul ball courtesy of his daughter.
Turner recently snapping an 0 for as well. Had a couple of hits in the Gatemen's last home game against Bourne. And he drives one out towards left center. That gets in for a base hit. In to score Jimenez. White around third. He'll score as well. Colby Turner delivers a 2-run knock, and the Gatemen strike first tonight against Orleans.
That's big time stuff right there. 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position, as clutch as a hit gets early in this game, and a metric that they've struggled in with runners in scoring position. Turner just changed the tone of this game.
With one swing of the bat, Colby Turner doubles his RBI count for this season from 2 to 4. They had him shifted, but he hit it over the shift. That's what you got to do. And so here's Jacob Jarrell, the 9-hole hitting catcher, still with 2 away. Watches ball 1 outside.
You have to create these?
The 1-0.
Okay.
Checks his swing. It's a called strike.
Runs scored. We did Gateman and then oh, Constantine. The rest of them.
In the dirt, Turner in between. He'll hold up at first base.
Took a big secondary there, though.
Yeah, he did. Robbie Ayers has been solid behind the dish in his 5 games. He hasn't allowed a pass ball yet. He's thrown out 1 of 9 base stealers. 2-1. Just below the knees. Very by-the-book strike zone today for Marvick Gomez. He's joined by Jim Fonseca at first base and Chris Kane at third base. That's your umpiring crew for tonight. Gerald takes the called strike and a full count. Turner several steps off of first. He runs on the payoff, and it's fouled back. Wareham looking to keep that 2-out rally going.
I was just gonna say, there's not, anybody's lives. I make mistakes. So.
Malker has the sign. The payoff again is outside, ball 4. Nice plate appearance for Jacob Jarrell, taking a whole lot of close pitches there.
That's a major league plate appearance. Aim small, miss small. Was only waiting for his pitch and never got it.
First walk issued by Balker tonight. Back to the top of the order for Brendan Summerhill, who's still looking for his first hit since returning from injury. Missed almost 2 weeks, healing up a wrist. I believe it was his right wrist. He injured on a stolen base attempt. Made his return over at Falmouth 2 days ago. First pitch, a hack, and that's going to find the seats. Summerhill grounded out his first time through, and 0 for 4 in his debut, or his re-debut, I should say.
No, I've had that too.
He was one of the hottest hitters at the top of the order prior to the injury. He's looking to regain that form and be the spark plug that Ryan Smythe knows that he can be. Down the left field line, this one hooking into foul ground, and that's where it lands. So an 0-2 to Summerhill, who is wearing the number 20 jersey this evening. Typically, Brendan Summerhill is number 22.
I was sitting right next to him when they called him.
We were told he misplaced that jersey. We're not sure where it is. No one's quite sure where it is, so he'll borrow the Chase Reinhardt's number 20 jersey. Now, wait a minute here. Scampering over to third base, Colby Turner. It looked like he tried to catch the Firebirds napping, but play had not yet been resumed, so we'll have to go back to second. But don't let that distract you from the fact that Brendan Summerhill's wearing number 20.
Let's blame it on Dan Roach.
Such an easy scapegoat, I'm afraid, as the 0-2 is fouled back. Well, it was Dan who gave us the news that Summerhill would be wearing a different number than usual.
All right, how about Joe Wisniewski? Blame it on him?
Why can't we just blame it on you, Kyle? What did you do with his jersey?
Guys, I stole his jersey. It was me.
Unbelievable. You trying to sell it on eBay or something?
I could probably make pretty good money off that.
Yeah, I would think so. Don't give me any ideas. In the dirt. And it's 1-2. 2-on-2 away here in the second. A 2-0 lead. You could say that deuces are wild. And it would be number 22 at the plate, but it's not.
Oh, so unfortunate.
Unreal.
At least it's a breeze.
Valker is ready. And the 1-2. Grounded right side. The second baseman gathers it in. Mancini's throw to first in time for out number 3. Gateman strand a pair, but score a pair as well. Courtesy of Colby Turner. A 2-run single with 2 gone gives the Gateman a 2-0 lead at the end of the second. On our way to the third here from Spillane Field, a 2-0 Gateman lead on the Gateman Baseball Network, powered by Cape League TV. Ethan Ive here with another edition of Wareham Walk-Off, and today our guest is Davidson College's Eli Putnam, first baseman for the Gateman. Eli, it's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get to walking. So first things first, Eli, let's look at off-the-field stuff. What's something that's brought you joy this week outside of baseball?
Joy this week outside of baseball? We had 2 off days this week. I got to spend some of the time out on the beach, spent really my whole day. I guess it was Thursday. I spent in Sandwich, checking out some cool spots there, going to the gardens, getting some free time, relaxing. It's nice and chill.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, first year in the Cape, you were the Atlantic 10 home run champion this year. What is the transition to the Cape been like for you?
I mean, it's a step up in terms of competition from the A10 and our usual opponents, but I feel like it hasn't been too crazy. It's still 60 feet 6 inches, 90 feet between the bases. It's still baseball at the end of the day.
Awesome stuff, and you're hitting really well as well, so the transition's definitely been there. Now, off the field again, what's something that you like to do off the field that gives you some joy?
Off the field, there's a lot of things. I got a lot of hobbies. At school, especially, I like to go fishing. We got Davidson's right near Lake Norman, a huge lake in North Carolina, so me and a lot of my teammates will go out really anytime we have an off day, spend some time catching some fish and just having a good time.
There you go. I like that. That's some great stuff right there. So you've been able to work with Mike Mobbs this year, the Gateman hitting coach. What has been his impact on you? What's the biggest lesson you've learned from him so far?
Man, I really like Coach Mob so far, and I think one of the biggest takeaways is just keeping it simple. We got a couple lines that we like to talk about in terms of hitting. One of the big ones is head down, breath out. So it's good when you go up into the box with just a simple thought, head down, breath out at contact, and just keep it simple just like that.
Head down, breath out. One of the many Mobisms that we've heard this year. So what's a big leaguer that perhaps you watched growing up that you favored, that someone maybe you modeled your game after?
There's been a lot. I was a Nationals fan. I grew up just outside D.C. Someone I really liked watching growing up was Ryan Zimmerman, playing third base, first base, just like myself.
That's a nice choice right there. A Marlin killer. I'm a Marlins fan.
Okay,
That's just how it is being from South Florida. All right, last question for you, Eli, as we get ready to touch home. What's something that you want more people to know about Eli Putnam?
I think a lot of people wouldn't know something about me is that I'm a really big chef. I love to cook when I'm at school. I cook for all my roommates. Just last night made a nice tomato mozzarella gnocchi. You know, that's one of my biggest passions outside of baseball.
What's your favorite thing you like to cook?
I love pizza, Neapolitan pizza.
Ooh, okay, maybe we'll have to chef that up sometime.
Maybe. I'd love to.
Yep. All right, this has been Wareham Walk Off. Eli Putnam, as always, a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.